The idea of collaborating on such a work is hugely ambitious, and it's deeply emotional at a number of levels. And so when I see a collaborative work, E.gress, that is entirely about both the idea of memory and the sound of memory, I am just overwhelmed by the meaning of it. Think of the extraordinary responsibility that families and professionals have who care for those who suffer from dementia. They suffer with the people who have all of these memories unrecoverable, as if they were imprisoned archivists of their own personal lives. And so you have all of these things going on in this extraordinary project. It's really, as a poet, realizing that memoria is the mother of the muses, and what happens when the muses lose their mother, as happens in the life of those who suffer from dementia. They in fact have to be restored to the muses somehow, and here you have the muse of visual art and the muse of music, two muses at least who come home to their mothers.
I suppose E.gress was born out of the Convergent Lives project, which we had worked on really, which would have been 3 years ago initially through the Cork Arts and Health programme. And Marie and I had an interest in working, I suppose, in new ways, or trying to push out the boat a little bit, was what we were hoping to achieve by working together.
I mean, we've done a lot of work collaboratively, separately, so we're kind of used to kind of creating new work with people, but we'd not worked together before, but we were interested, we kind of knew of each other's practice. The concept or the idea within the work that revealed itself through Converging Lives in a way, very early on, was this idea of ambiguous loss theory and how that might relate to the condition of Alzheimer's or dementia. So say, for example, if someone went to war and didn't return, then for the family and the friends and the colleagues, there would be an ambiguity around the loss of that person. So, or it might be, say, if someone got lost at sea. But we realised kind of early on that for family and carers and friends encountering an experience of Alzheimer's, they're really relating to it in a way of this Pauline Boss's theory of ambiguous loss. So that was really interesting. I mean, I kind of found that really exciting. But symbolically, visually, it explores ideas of mirroring and reflection and shadows within a series of different encounters with people. It's not a kind of linear narrative, but I'd imagine we're imagining that there is a sense of people would get a sense of some of the things that you encounter with the experience of dementia, or specifically with Alzheimer's. But in a very broad sense. I suppose we proposed to the Alzheimer's Society of Ireland to form a collaboration with the two of us, and they kind of agreed. We were very clear about there wasn't a precursor of knowing exactly what the work would be, that the working with people, with the staff and with the participants who have Alzheimer's and possibly laterally their family, the work and the raw material would reveal itself. And yet we wanted to go in deep and we wanted the work to be meaningful. So we were demanding a lot, really, and hoping for a lot. And I suppose without that trust from the staff and the families, people really seemed to get it. I think we were fortunate in the sense that people understood the concept.
I think that level of trust was built up, so I don't think we could have worked on this project without the previous Convergent Lives project. I mean, for me, throughout the work, this idea of connecting with people was really important, and that the finished work feels that it has an authentic connection with people. We often talked about being comfortable in our own skin and not being too eager to gather material, or to it's almost like a waiting game in ways, and the idea of sounds and images emerging. I think this was something that came through a lot to us. I have vivid memories of people who would almost become present in the room with you through a song or a story of something that was of real importance to them. So I suppose that influenced the work as well, and like Marie says, we were constantly exchanging information with each other of trying to find a way in of connecting with someone, really. I think during the editing process we really worked collaboratively on both the visuals, and so I wasn't responsible just for the audio, and Marie, we made majority of decisions together.
And we were talking about how an art project could just almost give one aspect of life and everything's lovely and happy and smiling. That isn't actually the reality at all. And similarly, not to go too far deep into the dark side, but they're actually honouring the dark side needs to be there, because that is the reality.
It can be so easy to sensationalise work like this, and that was something we were really, to me, sensationalising in that way is almost as in the way that work can be cliched, or can be in some ways trying to find that balance of the light and the dark is. And I think it was very important to us again that we really felt that the finished work really was authentic to us, that we felt it was something that we could stand by really at the end of the process.